Hello students, welcome to Paragraph Palooza. First, start by giving yourself a big pat on the back for finally finishing the research portion of your IIM. We are now moving on to the writing. Before we can get started, we need to make sure that we understand what exactly constitutes a well-structured paragraph and how do we go about writing one. There are two main parts to every research-based paragraph. The first part is the concrete details. The concrete details are what you have been gathering over the past few weeks. They are the facts that you found and wrote down while you are researching. Luckily for you, you already put these facts into your own words, so you're going to be able to just copy and paste those into your paragraphs. The second part is your commentary. This is your interpretation or your evaluation of those concrete details, as in, why are these concrete details important? In every paragraph, there are going to be 4 things that should be included. First, the concrete details, those facts, the commentary, explaining to the reader why those concrete details are important. 3, a topic sentence, previewing what you will be talking about in your paragraph. And 4, transitions. As we start the paragraph writing process, the first thing we're going to do is to look at our facts. While we're looking at our facts, we need to think about how those facts relate to the legacy. Now, the example that I'm going to be using is Walt Disney. So I have written out Walt Disney's legacy. So I'm going to read this aloud to you. Walt Disney changed the way the world viewed entertainment by adding sound and color to animation, creating the first animated feature films, and designing a theme park greater than any of its kind. What my first step is after I've reflected on the legacy is to go back into my facts and think, how do these facts contribute to the legacy of my person? Now, most of you have your facts on OneNote, and so I have created a OneNote here with some facts for you. You can see I am in I'll move this over for you a little bit. You can see I am on my Note Facts tab of OneNote, and then I am on childhood here. And so now I am going to go ahead and look at these facts that I have written. Now we want to make sure that our paragraphs just contain one topic. So let's take a look and figure out how we could group these facts together. The first fact I have here is, to make extra money, Walt would sell his drawings to neighbors. Okay, so we have a piece that kind of relates to the animation part of our legacy. So I'm keeping that in mind as I peruse my other facts. Here I have Walt attended the McKinley High School in Chicago. Here he pursued his art career by studying art and photography. That also contributes to that animation piece of his legacy. So I would think about putting those 2 facts into one paragraph. If we go on, our next fact says Walt's father was strict and his family did not have much money. Despite this, Walt's mother and older brother encouraged him to pursue his talents. This doesn't really relate specifically to art. So I am thinking that I will probably do a separate paragraph for that fact. We have here, as Walt grew older, he began to love and appreciate nature and wildlife and family and a community. Again, that doesn't pertain to art. So I'm going to leave that fact out of this paragraph. And then down here we have another one that discusses where and when he was born, and then his family. And again, that doesn't have to do with art. So right now I am going to include the concrete details about him selling his art and him attending high school where he refined his skills in art. So I'm going to copy and paste these into a new document. This is going to be your IIM rough draft document. Copy and paste fact number 1. And then we will go back to our OneNote and copy and paste our second fact here. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you so you can see it a little better. Okay, so we have, to make extra money, Walt would sell his drawings to neighbors. Walt attended the McKinley High School in Chicago. Here he pursued his art career by studying art and photography. One thing I want to remind you of is that during that research process, you spent a lot of time paraphrasing those facts, and you had a lot of facts to paraphrase. So it might not be the best quality writing. So for me right now, I would like to make sure that all my sentences are as concise and well written as possible. So I am going to take the initiative to edit this sentence to make it sound a little bit better. Walt attended the McKinley High School in Chicago, and we had here, he pursued his career in art by studying photography and art. And so I'm just going to add this to where he pursued his art career by studying art and photography. That way it's a little bit more concise for our reader. So just be mindful of that as you're editing your paragraphs. Where you can make some revisions, go ahead and go for it. The first thing that I want to start with is our topic sentence. So we're going to preview what is it that we're going to be talking about. For this, it's about Walt Disney's passion for art even as a boy. So I want to say that. So my idea for a topic sentence, remember those topic sentences are always going to be the first sentence of that paragraph, is going to be, even at a young age, Walt Disney demonstrated a passion for art. Okay, there we have our topic sentence. Now, the next thing I'm going to look at is transitions. Where can I add them, and what is going to make my paragraph flow more smoothly? Both Walt Disney selling his drawings and Walt Disney attending attending high school where he could learn more about art and refine those skills are examples of his passion for art. So a good transition to add here would be, for example, to make extra money, Walt would sell his drawings to neighbors. And then this is another example of his passion for art. So I'm just going to add a little transition here. Walt also attended the McKinley High School in Chicago, and so on and so forth. So I have added my topic sentence, I have added my transitions. My last step is to add a piece of commentary. My commentary is going to explain how these facts tie back to my legacy. Well, I determined that these facts tie back to the legacy because they promoted Walt Disney's desire to expand the world of animation. So I want to say that. And I want to say that clearly. So I'm going to add here a piece of commentary. And here's my idea for it. Both of these opportunities helped prepare him for his future in animation. And that's how they contributed to the legacy. So once you have your paragraph, once you have chosen which facts you want to include, once you've written a topic sentence, added transitions, and added commentary, I have an assignment for you. And here it is. You are going to do 4 things to 3 paragraphs. Now, you're probably just going to want to do the first 3 paragraphs of your body of your rough draft because you're just getting started with that now. The first thing you're going to do is highlight in yellow all the concrete details. So these are your facts. So for me, I have the fact about Walt Disney selling his drawings and then the fact about him studying art and photography in high school. So go ahead and highlight those in yellow. Let's look back to our instructions for our next step. The next thing you are going to do is to change your commentary to red. Remember, your commentary is that information that explains why these facts are important. And I have it here. These facts show us that he prepared himself for animation in the future, even when he was a child. And so that is going to be in red. Let's look at our next step here. The next step is to change my topic sentence to blue. So my topic sentence is that first sentence of that paragraph that introduces what I will be talking about. And I am going to change that to blue. And then last but not least, the instructions ask us to go ahead and underline my transition. So let's go ahead and underline those transitions. I added 2 transitions, for example, right here. And then also is my other transition. Okay, so once you have finished writing your first 3 paragraphs, go ahead and do this. This is going to be a great way for you to figure out if you are including everything that you need to in your paragraphs. Happy writing, and I look forward to reading your work.